Welcome back, WrestleRangers, to WrestleRant edition number 58. I'm your host this evening, Bleacher, Feature Columnist Level 2, Graham Gibson Matthews, and despite me wearing my WWE Universe booking cap as well as my Daniel Bryan Step the Next Violence t-shirt as well as my WWE World Tag Team Championship belt, today's video will be about this past week's Impact Wrestling review as well as Destination X tonight as well as my predictions for the event. And I know I said I'd be uploading this video 2 days ago back on Friday after I uploaded part 1. However, part 2 will be uploaded today after I was busy with the last 48 hours. But nonetheless, better late than never. And let's get right down to Impact Wrestling for last week, only 3 days ago on Thursday, July 5th. So now to kick off the show, we had Bully Ray and Joseph Park. Joseph Park, obviously, the alternate character for Abyss. This has been one hell of a storyline over the couple of months, and I've been certainly enjoying it. Joseph Park has been providing the best work of his career as Joseph Park rather than Abyss. I'm certainly looking forward to the payoff of this angle. And now, next week, it's been announced that Bully Ray will face Joseph Park in a no disqualification match, a rematch from Slammiversary from a number of weeks ago. However, Abyss has been banned from ringside due to a restraining order at the hands of Bully Ray. So this was an excellent promo to kick off the show, and I certainly like how they're kicking off the show with different angles every week. Last week, it was the Bobby Roode and Austin Aries angle. This week, it's Joseph Park and Bully Ray. So I'm really liking how they're changing up the opening of TNA Impact Wrestling every single week. Now, every single week for the past couple of weeks, we've been having X Division matches, with the winners of these matches advancing to Destination X to compete for the vacant X Division title. So I've been really enjoying these matches. They've included a lot of good workers and a lot of fast-paced matches, and I'm really enjoying all the new faces that we've been seeing in the X Division, as well as some familiar faces such as Sanjay Dutt that we saw a couple of weeks ago. But the two matches that we saw here tonight, the first one was a little bit forgettable. I don't remember all that much about it. But the second one is one that really shined. Other than that Lars Only guy, that bomb that botched some of his moves, he was pretty cool for most part, especially when he flung around the turnbuckle. I thought that was pretty cool. But Kenny King is the guy that I got my money on to become the breakout star of all these new faces in the X Division. This guy, I just realized, was a former Ring of Honor star who was just released from the company just a number of days ago, being a part of their World Tag Team Championship tandem, and just randomly appearing on Impact Wrestling and thus breaking its verbal agreement with the company. So he's now released from ROH, but now it's in TNA. So I'm really looking forward to how he shapes up in the X Division. Hopefully he can capture the title, but I'll get to my predictions for the event in a little bit for tonight's Destination X. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to Kenny King and what he can bring to the X Division going forward. We also had a Christopher Daniels promo as well as featuring AJ Styles and Kazarian. I thought this is a very strong promo. It featured the storyline with Claire Lynch. As much as I hate this storyline and everything going on about it, I mean, let's analyze this for a second. This storyline has been going on for the past 6 months, more so over the past year when it started back in Destination X, which AJ Styles mentioned during the promo when he faced Christopher Daniels last year at Destination X, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. However, I'm really liking the feud between AJ Styles and Daniels, and this promo only furthered that, furthering the storyline featuring Claire Lynch, as well as her match of the Sunday in a last man standing match, which should be the blow up of the feud, but one can only hope. But this is a very strong showing for both guys, and really it helps build up the match for the Sunday, for tonight actually, for the last man standing rules between these former Fortune members. Chris Sabin's promo about being nearly retirement. He could be quite possibly retiring after he announced that after his ACL injury that he suffered a couple weeks back, and then Bobby Roode interfered, and then Austin Aries made the save after Bobby Roode was verbally and physically assaulting the former one half of the Motor City Machine Gun. So I thought this is a very good promo as well. Chris Sabin did an excellent job as making himself look sympathetic in this promo. Bobby Roode was spot on this heel promo on Chris Sabin and attacking him as well, putting him over as a monster heel in the division. I'm sorry, in just the company in general. As I said before, Bobby Roode has been one hell of a world champion since capturing the belt back in November and has been doing an excellent job ever since. So I'm really looking forward to Austin Aries and Bobby Roode to the TNA World Championship tonight at Destination X. But I'll get to that in a little bit to close the show as well. So in the main event of the evening, we had James Storm versus Jeff Hardy in a Bound for Glory series match. Now, I wrote an article about this a couple days ago, but I just have this to say. Although the series is predictable, with James Storm going to be coming out victorious during the title match against Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory for the TNA World Championship, that's a match that everyone wants to see. That is a money matchup, and I do not have any complaints towards that whatsoever. Just because it is predictable that James Storm is going to be winning does not take the entertainment out of the series. Every single matchup thus far, a part of the series, has been extremely entertaining with all the workers involved. The guys like AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Daniels, James Storm, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, D'Angelo Dinero, Magnus, all these guys put on excellent matchups, and this James Storm versus Jeff Hardy match was no exception. This was an awesome matchup. I'm really looking forward to more of these guys going forward. Jeff Hardy picked up the clean victory to earn some points, which I like the move of that because James Storm is now in the lead of the series with 37 points, I believe. And Jeff Hardy now just advanced to 14 points, I think, with his victory. So I'm really glad that he's finally moving up the series. Jeff Hardy should look like a legitimate threat going the Bound for Glory as well, even though he's not going to be, probably not going to be contending for the World Heavyweight Championship. So to close the show, we had a promo featuring Austin Aries, Robert Roode, and Hulk Hogan. Another very strong showing between Austin Aries and Robert Roode. Robert Roode. These guys have excellent chemistry on the mic, and they really showed why their match this Sunday at Destination X is going to be an exciting one. Bobby Roode has been the top guy in Impact Wrestling since capturing the title back in November from James Storm. Austin Aries, on the other hand, has been the top guy in the X Division since coming back into the company last July. Actually, last July's Destination X pay-per-view, so it's been exactly 1 year since he entered the pay-per-view, and now he's going to be contending for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I do like the fact that he kind of mentioned that in the promo, but I just love the chemistry between Austin Aries and Robert Roode on the mic in the ending segment for this. It certainly got me hyped up for Destination X this Sunday. So speaking of Destination X, let me get to my predictions. Only 4 big matchups are advertised, but 3 big matchups, and then 4. The 4th one is a tournament per se for all the X Division competitors going to come to vie for the X Division Championship that was now vacated due to Austin Aries competing in the World Heavyweight Championship against Bobby Roode. So Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe in a Bound for Glory series matchup. As we've seen in the past, these guys have just excellent chemistry in the ring. Kurt Angle is obviously Samoa Joe's opponent when Kurt Angle first came into the company a couple of years ago. So I do like the history behind this matchup. They mentioned that on Impact a couple days ago when they were building up this matchup, so I do like that as well. So they give this match some importance, just not some random match on the card. So I'm really looking forward to the matchup. Just the chemistry between these guys is both excellent workers. I'm really looking forward to what they can produce at Destination X. So as far as who's going to be getting points here, I gotta go with Angle, who has been falling behind us of late and is the top portion of the Bound for Glory series. I'm gonna have to go with Kurt Angle here. Samoa Joe, I believe he's second in the rankings. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he is. So I don't think he needs the points here to get ahead of James Storm. So I'm going to go with Kurt Angle to pick up the victory here by submission or pinfall. I don't know, but I'm going to have to go with just pinfall probably. For the X Division tournament, you can't really make a clear prediction here because all the guys that are going to be competing aren't in any certified matchups. And by that I mean they only mentioned the qualifiers for the tournament and not really the matchups that they're going to be competing. So we don't know if it's going to be Douglas Williams versus Sanjay Dutt, therefore. So I don't really know who's going to be competing against each other, so I can't really make any clear predictions as far as that goes. But the actual stars that are now a part of the X Division, guys like Douglas Williams, Zema Ion, who else? Kid Cash, all those guys who are already in the X Division, I'm not going to go with them to win the X Division Championship because they haven't been on TV at all in the last month and have zero focus on them part of this tournament. So I don't think that they're going to be winning the X Division Championship. As far as new stars go, the most impressive guys that have impressed me thus far are Sanjay Dutt and Kenny King from this past Thursday night on Impact. I definitely think that Kenny King is going to be walking out as a new X Division champion. I don't know if they can be putting the belt on him just days after he left Ring of Honor. That would be kind of like a strange move, but I just have this gut feeling that he is just the breakout star of the X Division. If you saw his mic stills, if you saw his promo, if you saw his match from this past week on Impact, it was absolutely amazing. This guy's the full package. It's like teenage version of Shelton Benjamin, and I'm really looking forward to what they bring forward with him going forward in Destination X as well as 2012 as a whole. So I'm definitely going with him to capture the X Division Championship. Maybe he feuds with Austin Aries over the title if Austin Aries fails to capture the TNA World Championship. The Ring of Honor background between those two guys, so that would make for an excellent feud if they opt to go that direction. So I'm definitely going with Kenny King as the new X Division champion after Destination X. For the blow-up match between AJ Styles and Daniels, last man standing rules, I am really looking forward to this matchup. For one reason, and one reason only, actually. This whole feud started last year at Destination X. Daniels versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles pulled out the victory And then we saw a rematch a couple weeks ago, or a couple weeks later on Impact. Daniels pulled out the victory. Then we had the blow-off match at Bound for Glory, and an I Quit matchup, lackluster match, but it was still okay. And AJ Styles picked up the victory there. We all thought that was going to be the end of the feud, but it certainly wasn't, because it continued over the next couple of months, with Kazarian certainly getting involved and joining Daniels and all these allegations against AJ Styles with the affair and the baby and Claire Lynch and all that crap. But I'm really, really liking the direction that this feud is taken. I'm not just talking about the storyline wise, because the crackhead Claire stuff is a bit ridiculous, but they've made it work and they've made it suspenseful in a way that, even though it's like kind of a soap opera storyline, I'm really looking forward to how it's played out over the last couple of weeks. So the wrestling here should be amazing, because AJ Styles and Daniels, as we know, always put on classic matchups every single time they lock up. So I'm really looking forward to that. As far as the last man standing stipulation goes, I think that's a perfect fit for a blow off to this feud. I don't want to see the feud go on past this. A year, I think is the maximum as far as this feud can go. I'd like to see AJ Styles and Daniels move on to separate things, going to the Bound for Glory series, going to Bound for Glory. So I don't really want to see this feud continue. But if this feud is going to be blowing off tonight at Destination X, I have to give AJ Styles the victory here. I definitely think that he has proven that he is deserving of a victory, even though he hasn't picked up many victories in recent weeks. Although he won at Slammiversary to win the World Tag Team Championship Kurt Angle, I definitely think that he's going to be walking out victorious once again at Destination X against Christopher Daniels. Now in the main event we have Robert Roode. I'm sorry, why do I keep on saying Robert Roode? His new name is Bobby Roode, of course. He's been calling himself over the last year. Versus Austin Aries, the former X Division champion, for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship tonight at Destination X. This match is reminiscent of John Cena versus CM Punk and Money in the Bank last year. Although Austin Aries isn't leading the company, Austin Aries is TNA's version of CM Punk in a way. The fans kind of turned him face. Former Ring of Honor star, excellent worker. I'm just excited for every feud that he's involved in going forward. He doesn't have the size to back it up. He's just a smaller exhibition guy who just continues to shine against his opponents, such as Bully Ray, Samoa Joe last month at Slammiversary, now Bobby Roode. Now, Bobby Roode has been holding the championship since November 3rd, I believe, 2011, so he's the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion in TNA history. I do think that he's going to be holding the title going into his feud with James Storm at Bound for Glory. That is the smartest decision, so I definitely see him retaining here, but not without a huge, strong performance against Austin Aries here. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup. I believe it's the first time ever. It could have happened about 10 years ago when Austin Aries was first in the company. I'm not exactly sure, but the matchup should be amazing. But I'm going to have to go with the Canadian native Bobby Roode to retain the championship here. That about does it for Destination X as far as my prediction goes. Overall, I'm really looking forward to the show. This show looks like it's going to be amazing. With a lot of the action on here, it looks to be very, very strong and very, very exciting. As Destination X 2011 was the pay-per-view of the year for TNA, in my opinion. So I definitely think that, I don't know if it's going to be pay-per-view of the year after we had that strong Slammiversary pay-per-view last month and everything else before that. Sacrifice and what else? Victory Road and Against All Odds were all great pay-per-views as well, in my opinion. Because as I said before, TNA has been certainly shaping up to be the better company in recent months. I mean, a lot of people just hate to admit it, but TNA is certainly better than WWE at this point, especially with all the action, all the feuds that they've got going on, all the storylines. I'm really liking the direction that TNA has taken in recent weeks, especially with a new live format every Thursday night, which has made for an exciting environment every single week. So that's time my shameless plugs. You guys can follow me on Twitter at @TimberSquares_GSM, at SarcasticSmark, and of course at WWE on Facts. Make sure to check out my website for all the WWE TNA rumors, recaps, and more at nextwrestling.weebly.com. Also to check out my radio show at utnlive.com, also at universaltakeover.com. We're going to be returning this Thursday night, Thursday, July 12th, I believe it is, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central Time, right after TNA Impact. So make sure to check that out with my co-host at Heel by Design, as well as Spoilers, which should be returning this Thursday as well. What time, I'm not too sure, but you guys can check out the archive for that at blogtalkradio.com/spoilers podcast. I'll make sure to also check me out on Bleacher Report just by searching Graham Jason Matthews. Articles coming up in the very near future. And also make sure to subscribe as well. I just recently surpassed 100 subscribers here on YouTube, so I really do appreciate that. So keep the subscribes going, and make sure to hit me up on Twitter for any questions and future episodes of WrestleRant. So I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to enjoy Destination X tonight. And this is GSM signing out. Till next one, guys.